Since her withdrawal from the Tokyo Olympics last year, Simone Biles has been making headlines as the poster child of mental health in sports. And by the sound of things, the gold medalist is doing incredibly well at the moment. In fact, she recently got engaged to her fiancé, Jonathan Owens. But what do we really know about their relationship? And what other headlines should we be aware of? For all this and more, stay tuned. First of all, let's talk about how Simone is feeling at the moment. For those of you who weren't paying attention this Valentine's Day, Jonathan Owens decided to ask Simone Biles to marry him. And without skipping a beat, the former champion jumped at the opportunity to say yes. After posting the announcement on social media, Biles informed her fans that she would be taking a few days off from the spotlight in an attempt to enjoy things as best she can. But the gymnast also promised that she would return in due time to answer as many questions about her anticipated wedding as she possibly could. Never the liar, Biles took to Instagram a couple of days later to publish a couple of stories that addressed a number of fan questions. And you won't be surprised to hear that Simone is having an incredible time organizing things for her and Jonathan. Being the poster child for mental health isn't easy, and dealing with the aftermath of the Larry Nassar trial was more than taxing on the Olympic gold medalist. So it's nice to hear that she's having some fun without worrying about the past. When asked about how the wedding planning was going, she confirmed that she is absolutely obsessed at the moment and has no time at all to think about anything else. But she also expressed the need to hire a wedding planner as her and Owen are also in the midst of building a house together. Suffice to say, the couple have their hands full. Does she have any idea when the wedding will be though? Unfortunately not. But that's a good thing, considering how the couple only got engaged last month. By the sound of things, both Simone and Jonathan are enjoying the engaged life as much as possible and will continue to do so until everything has been organized to perfection. There's no need to rush after all, since they plan on spending every waking moment with one another regardless. That being said, Biles has spoken up about wanting a destination wedding, more specifically, one that will allow the wedding or reception to be held on the beach. In response to a commenter who asked whether her or Jonathan were thinking about Belize, which is a destination the couple have visited in the past, she responded in the negative. In her own words, "It actually will not be in Belize, surprise, surprise. Most likely because her and Jonathan are looking for a destination that is new and detached from their past. And since they are both financially supported for the remainder of their lives, the sky is pretty much the limit for them." Simone also spoke about wanting a large wedding, but not one that is too large that she can't keep track of all of her guests. It's an important day after all, and she wouldn't want to be too overwhelmed by the sheer number of people surrounding her. In the same sense, she wouldn't want to leave anyone out though. It really is a conundrum for the starlet. The Instagram stories also told the tale of Simone's future, which looks to be brighter than ever. In response to a fan who had asked whether the couple wanted to have children in the future, Simone went on to describe her perfect life. And according to her, this involves at least 2 kids. She did place a caveat on her answer though, stating that the couple are taking things one step at a time and won't be rushing into decisions like this until they are married. It must also be noted that Jonathan wants 3 children to be running around their home in the future, but since Simone said that she wants a minimum of 2, this doesn't seem to be a problem. At least the couple are somewhat on the same page. Last but not least, she then addressed where her and Jonathan will be settling down in the future, and it won't surprise you to hear that Houston is their chosen city. Owens plays defensive back for the Houston Texans after all, and has expressed no desire to leave the franchise team anytime soon, so it makes absolute sense that the couple would build a life close to the team that Owen calls home. Simone did mention that the NFL can be pretty uncertain at times though, so if Owens ends up moving teams, they'll likely leave Houston during the season. But since their forever home is being built there, they'll no doubt return in the offseason. In other words, the couple have it all worked out. Good thing too, as their love story is one for the books. Just recently, Simone Biles had an interview with Today, in which she opened up about her relationship with Jonathan. And by the sound of things, they've been in love ever since they first met. According to her, they clicked immediately immediately because they had so much in common. They're both athletes after all, and are used to living a physically demanding life in their respective fields. That being said, the coronavirus pandemic also had a lot to do with how quickly they fell for one another. You see, they met just after COVID-19 began to spread, and as a result, they ended up spending copious amounts of time quarantining with one another in the confines of their homes. Spending 24 hours a day with a person is a make-or-break moment, and when it came to Simone and Jonathan, the situation couldn't have been better. In fact, Simone went on to state that she feels somewhat weird when her and Jonathan are spending time apart because of their intensive schedules. So when they aren't around one another, they're constantly texting or calling. In her own words, it's kind of gross in a way. In other words, Simone and Jonathan are no doubt still in the honeymoon period of their relationship, which is crazy considering how they've already been dating for around 2 years. But maybe that's what true love is. For Simone's sake, we really hope so. And while Biles is on a break, teammate Suni Lee is tearing up the competition. In fact, she just recently scored a perfect 10 on beam and made NCAA gymnastics history by pulling off a moveset known as the Nabieva on the uneven bars. The Nabieva is an incredibly difficult release move that not many gymnasts try, as it comes with the risk of failing a routine that would have otherwise been a winner. Luckily for Suni Lee, though, this risk of hers paid off and saw the crowd jumping to their feet in complete shock. Just recently, Jeff Gaba, her Auburn gymnastics coach, reminisced about how he had seen her practicing the maneuver for the first time at the gym and knew that one day she would be able to incorporate it into her routine. And after an unusually sluggish start to the competition, we knew that it was now or never. She needed something fantastic to take the lead, and the Nabieva was exactly that. This was the first time the skill had ever been performed in NCAA gymnastics after all, so it makes sense that it propelled Auburn into the lead. After sticking the landing, she was almost handed a perfect 10, with her final score coming in at 9.875. The crowd went crazy, but forgot that Suni was just halfway done. With a dynamic beam routine, she finally got the perfect 10 she was looking for, solidifying her performance as one of the best in the history of the Auburn facility. Suffice to say, Suni Lee has more to show us. And then we have the apparent suspension of Indian gymnast Deepa Karmakar, a ruling which some are calling the biggest mistake in the history of gymnastics. For those of you who don't know, Deepa Karmakar finished 4th overall in the vault event at the Rio Olympics a few years back. But according to reports, the budding gymnast has now been suspended by the International Gymnastics Body and has no information as to why this decision was made against her. Her coach, Bisheshwar Nandi, spoke up in her stead, stating that she would not be commenting anytime soon until she knows just why the IGB decided to make this ruling. It also went on to say that she is absolutely shocked at the moment, as gymnastics is her life. The Gymnast Federation of India also has no information in this regard and is keeping the gymnast in the national camp until more information about her suspension has been received. It's a strange situation to say the least, but we'll let you know as soon as we discover more. For the moment, we'll just have to wait and see what comes to light. And there you have it, everything you might want to know about the world of gymnastics at the moment. What do you think of Simone Biles' engagement announcement though? And why do you think Karmakar was suspended? Feel free to let us know in the comments section down below.